What is baptism? Many churches believe that baptism is necessary for salvation. I once saw a video that showed people checking into heaven. Many had done great deeds and had given their lives in service to make the world a better place. They loved greatly and lived with immense compassion. Yet they didn't get into heaven. Why? Because they hadn't been baptized. It was an incredibly jarring video. Baptism isn't a magic solution to get into heaven. You don't need an act of salvation such as baptism to find favor and approval by God. There are several verses in the Bible that are used to affirm the idea that baptism is necessary for redemption or salvation. However, as with all verses in the Bible, one needs to look at the context and what the writer might have originally meant. For example, Matthew 3:11 in the NIV version states, "I baptize you with water for repentance," which makes it seem like you need to be baptized to be saved. However, multiple scholars confirm that a more appropriate translation would be, "I baptize with water those of you who have changed your hearts and lives." So the act of baptism in this example is a symbolic act for those who have decided to live a different life and follow Jesus. In this verse, they're not being baptized to be redeemed, they're being baptized because they have chosen to follow Jesus and live a new path. It's not the act itself that saves, and this more closely aligns with what most progressive Christians believe. Through baptism, followers of Jesus are symbolically dying to an old system of values, values that oppose Jesus' teachings, and they are being raised into the values of Jesus' teachings, such as love, compassion, justice, inclusion. They're also being reborn into God's beloved community. It's a beautifully symbolic way of identifying oneself with the community and celebrating that we find love, belonging, and affirmation in God's community. The waters of baptism can be seen as a symbol of the life giving power of God's love in the world. Through the act of baptism, we are demonstrating a commitment to the teachings of Jesus, celebrating the sacredness of life, and joining together in our love for God and for one another as a community of believers.